Hello investigators, and welcome to the overview video for The Search for Kadath, which is the 39th expansion product for Arkham Horror the card game, and the first Mythos Pack in the Dream Eater cycle. A Mythos Pack provides a new scenario in an ongoing campaign whose storyline progresses in a set order. There are generally 6 Mythos Packs which accompany every cycle. Unlike a standalone adventure, it is not self-contained, and you will need scenario cards from both the deluxe expansion and core box, even if you were to play it as a one-off in standalone mode. It also contains new player cards for all of the classes, and maybe some neutral ones too. You can use these player cards with any investigators at any time, not just when playing the campaign they come from. It is packaged in a clamshell blister pack. So called because it is made of a single piece of material that has its own hinge, just like the shell of a clam, and the cards are contained in a cavity that looks to have blistered up from the flat surface of the material. There is also an extruded foot at the base of each pack, allowing it to remain freestanding on a shelf, and a cutout at the top allowing it to be placed on a peg rack. Each Mythos pack contains exactly 60 cards, which are split unevenly between new or upgraded player cards, but mostly new scenario cards. There is no randomization, and the contents of one Mythos pack will be identical to another. Do note that some of the scenario cards will be story assets and thus have a player back. These aren't used for general deck building, but can only be gained through specific conditions by playing the scenario. On the back of each Mythos pack is a QR code that allows you to preview the cards without purchasing, although you might need to give it a few days. A QR or quick response code is a 2-dimensional barcode. Normal barcodes are read in one direction, but these encode information in 2 directions, allowing much more data to be stored. Simply point any modern smartphone camera at the label and it will do the rest, which in this case opens up a browser to a dedicated Fantasy Flight Games website that offers up pictures of the cards. You shouldn't need any special software or to download anything. This preview is very handy to make sure you are purchasing the right product. If your budget can't stretch to every pack, but there is a particular player card you are looking for, this is a great way to make sure you don't actually purchase the wrong one. The packs are sealed by a clear sticker at the top, which you can just peel off. You don't need to use any scissors or blade to get into the packaging. Inside, the player cards are shrink wrapped together, and there may be a coloured sticker so people in the factory know which language the cards are in. Face out, it has always been a Guardian card, and on the rear is usually a scenario card, so avoid looking at that until you are ready to set up. You can continue to use the pack to store the cards even after opening, but if you do like to protect your cards by putting them in plastic sleeves, you may have some trouble fitting them in and closing the pack, sadly. But before you throw the packaging away, underneath the paper artwork is a tightly folded rules sheet. Remember to take this out before disposal. This will either be a single sheet you flip over, or a double sheet that unfolds like so, and then folds into a 4-page mini booklet just like this one here. It has the latest part of the campaign story to read aloud, which may be modified based on the story choices your group made. It has all the setup information on how to prepare and begin this latest chapter, usually with a suggested setup diagram for the starting locations, as well as the scenario resolutions, which you should only read after the game has finished, and then only the one which pertains to your current end conditions. Saves the mystery for future replayability, eh? Both the front and rear art are printed on paper and can easily be recycled, as is the plastic packaging. If you check out the base, you will see this has the number 1 in a 3-arrow triangle. This means it is a category 1 plastic, specifically polyethylene terephthalate, which is widely recycled by many civic recycling programs, so please don't send it to landfill. New players, does this answer all your questions? If not, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget that the Dream Eater cycle doesn't have the traditional 8-part linear campaign that the previous cycles do, but twin parallel 4-part campaigns for 2 distinct groups of investigators. These campaigns are labelled A and B, and the Search for Kadath is the second part of Campaign A, which is subtitled The Dream Quest. So the investigators that completed Scenario 1A, Beyond the Gates of Sleep, should now move on to this product. This is the group that went into the Dreamlands, leaving the real world behind. Why don't we give you a slideshow so you can see what's on offer? There are 17 cards in total with no neutral or weakness cards. The odd number is because one class has a bonded card. Each class gets 2 new cards, apart from survivors with 1 and seekers with 1-ish. This odd number is because the seekers have a bonded card, with a single copy of the bonded card and 2 host cards. And it is also another untranslated card, just like the Strange Solution and its later variants. Meaning you will want to have 2 copies in your deck so you can maximise your chances of upgrading it. The other big thing is the survivors get a new ally, and it is a damaged version of Peter Silvestri. Although she does seem to be diminished in power, particularly as she starts with reduced damage absorbing capability. Will we see a level 0 version of her? Or a more experienced version with dual static bonuses? Who knows? The classes once again get watered down a little further, with the Mystics getting card draw and along with the Rogues receive new ways to investigate. Plus the Guardians gain some encounter deck manipulation. And take note that Read the Signs doesn't substitute your willpower for your intellect, it adds to it. So people like Marie, or most Mystics in fact, can get a strong boost for a single use. Heck, even Daisy can take it for 8 investigation and double the clues out of the gate. And it's another Mystic card using secrets. Let's not forget the Mystics originated secrets with forbidden knowledge. It wouldn't be until Path to Carcosia and In the Know that Seekers would get their first Uses Secrets card. Anyone remember Enraptured? Maybe this would be a nice menage a trois. Well, that's all folks. You don't need us to tell you that Momentum isn't just a great card to set up Double or Nothing, but for the trilogy of service favour cards too. Although she does appear to be diminished in power, particularly as she starts with reduced damage absorbing capable flipping heck.